before his career.
Wow.
Okay, that concludes the tour. Got any questions?
Yes.
You got a question?
Yeah.
No. Same way you just gave me.
First thing I do, I look for troublemakers. Wait a minute, I pointed this one right here. You're pointing over here. The one that points is usually the troublemaker.
There you go.
You guys in the back row, y'all want to stand up? Y'all can scoot down a little bit up there if you want to. You can stand up, you can lean on the railing if you want to, sit on it, just don't bump your head. Same with you guys, you'll probably get to see a little bit. Now, when we get to the other side, these guys are going to have to turn around, okay? All right, before anybody can go underground, the mines has to be fireballs by a certified person. Someone comes in early, checks for methane, carbon monoxide. We take a look at the roof and the rig to make sure everything's safe. We don't have to do that here because we don't produce coal, but we still do. Every morning one of us comes in early. It happened to be me today. We got date boards throughout the mines. We'll put our date and initial. Now I'm going to show y'all how they mined coal back in the late 1800s. Now I wasn't here, guys, all right? Y'all Today's coal miners are wearing a strap with a battery. It's mostly all remote control. This mines was a pick and shovel all the way. There was never any electric equipment ever used in this mines. We're going to show you some on the other side, but it was never used here. The mines went under the city of Beckley for 7 miles in diameter. Now they had to take a pick and pick out that coal and shovel it on these cars. That coal seam, 28 inches high. That's what they were working in. They wasn't standing up like me. They were working in 28 inches of coal. I'll explain it to you more as we go on up. The company made the miners work 12-hour shifts. They demanded that they shoveled, hand-loaded 10 tons of coal in 12 hours, 10 of these cars. If they didn't do it, they'd lose their job. A lot of times they brought their teenage son in to help them get the quota. Once the car was loaded, they all had a piece of wood with a number on it. That number corresponded to their name outside. That's how they knew who to pay. Now, they were thieves back then, like they are today. A lot of times the car would go outside, somebody'd steal the wood and put it on their car. That guy wouldn't get paid. So finally, they put the wood in the car first, then they loaded the car. When it got unloaded outside, they knew who to pay. I brought y'all in on a 1930 model locomotive. Now, back in these days, they had track, but they didn't have electricity going underground. How do you think they drove these cars out of the mines back in those days? What'd they use?
Horse.
Mules,
Mules.
horses, donkeys. They even used dogs. Has anyone seen the movie Coal Miner's Daughter?
Mm-hmm.
That's the way it was. Everybody lived in a coal camp. Every coal camp had a company store. Maybe you've heard the song, 16 tons, what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. That's what it was. They bought all their food, clothing, medicine, tools. Everything had to be purchased at the company store, even the houses they lived in. If a coal miner got killed back in those days, the company gave the family 3 days to move out, so another family could move in. Now, I've got an LED light on my cab. They didn't have LED lights back then. They started out with this right here. What does that look like? Okay, it could be. What else? How about a teapot? They started out with a teapot and a can of kerosene. They'd empty the kerosene into the teapot. It would fit on their cap. They would ignite it. It'd be an open flame. Now, what's going to happen if that flame hits a pocket of methane?
Explode.
Pop. A lot of methane, there's going to be an explosion. This light only lasted about 3 hours. They have to relight it again. Does anyone have family that worked underground? Who'd you have?
My grandfather, my dad, and my uncle.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In West Virginia?
Yeah, right here. And
Okay. Sometimes we get coal miners on the tour. They try to take the tour over. I'm glad we don't have any on here right now. All right, guys. Now, after the teapot that I just showed you, they came out with what's called a carbide lamp. This is carbide, this is water. When you mix water with carbide, it forms like a settling gas. We got any welders on here? There's a welder right there. All right, now you see the gas coming out? That's a good jump. I didn't mean to do that. All right. Can you imagine working a 12-hour shift with a light like that? That's all they had. Each coal miner had to carry around a can of carbide with them. If they were lucky, this light might last about 4 hours. They'd have to relight it again. If they ran out of water, they had to use their spit to relight it. Well, like I said, if you happen to hit a pocket of methane, there's going to be a pop or an explosion. Now I'm going to show everyone how dark it is underground without any light. Now over the years, my light went out plenty of times. One time my light went out, took them about 30 minutes to find it. I had one major problem. Can anybody tell me what it would be other than I can't see? What would be my biggest problem?
Directions.
Well, you have to stand still till they find you. You can't see your hand in front of your face.
You have to go to the bathroom.
I don't need a light to go to the bathroom. I hear that a lot. I got some city slickers on here, don't I? I had to worry about a rat crawling on me. Now, y'all came here to hear about those rats? I'm going to tell you all about them on the other side. Now, this is called a flame safety lamp. We used to use these in the old days to check for methane. They did away with these in the mid-70s because of that flame. You could take this lamp, put it a foot from the roof. If the top of that flame turns blue and elongates, that means you're in methane gas. They didn't have any way to check back then. We also use this to check for low oxygen. Happened to me plenty of times. I'll be walking along, and that flame go out or start to go out. There's not enough oxygen in front of me to survive. They didn't have any way to check. Today, they use a spotter. Excuse me. All you do is push a button. It'll give you a methane check and a carbon monoxide check. Now, they had one way to check for low air and methane back in those days, and that's what it was right there. What kind of bird is it? Now, don't say it is bird. That's right, canary. No one's heard of West Virginia. They've heard about canaries in the coal mines. Now, that one's had its better days, right? That one's had it.
Hopefully not just now.
I had a guy the
Running out of
other
it.
day, he said, "Is that a real bird?" I said, "Well, if it is, we don't have much longer to live." I'll tell you that.
All of it's gonna look the same.
Yeah.
It's got a few good years left.
Now, let's see if you guys have been listening. Where did they buy the canary?
Company
Store. Company store. Where'd they buy the material to build the cage?
Company store.
They'd go to work and set the canary right there, and they'd start picking and shoving. If that canary is chirping and singing something like, "Almost heaven, West Virginia," everything's fine. If it's laying flat on its back with its legs up in the air, it's only a matter of time before it's going to get you. These canaries saved a lot of coal miners' lives back then. The reason they used the canary, the breathing and the lungs of a canary are similar to a human. Now, who is a mathematician in this bunch? Come on now, somebody volunteer, somebody point, I'll take a point. You're volunteering, I got me a volunteer right here, okay. Now, like I said, back in those days, they had to work a 12-hour shift. They had to shovel 10 tons of coal in 12 hours. They only made 20 cents a ton. So, they shoveled 10 tons of coal for a 12-hour shift at 20 cents a ton. How much money did they make? $2. Then they had to spend $5 or $6 just to pay for the little shack they lived in. Today's coal miners make anywhere from 85 to a little over 100,000. Now we're going to leave here and go to the other side. I'm going to show y'all the next step. They're still going to be using a pick, but they're going to be doing one thing different. We're going to slowly progress, if you want to call it that. Have a seat, watch your head, watch out for the little bat that flies around. And we'll go to the other side. Yes?
When I look over here and see the dark, is that like a yard of coal or no?
Where at?
On the bottom?
All that's coal right there.
Okay.
You've got coal, well, you've got rock, coal, and more rock. Now, I've worked in mines where I could hear men above me working in another seam of coal. Not this mines, but there's mines, you might have that seam of coal, 600 feet up, you might have another seam of coal. I've worked in mines where I could hear men below me working. There could be a seam of coal way down there, not in this area, but what I'm saying, coal seams vary.
You said on your, the one light that you checked for low oxygen, it would go out if you had low oxygen?
Yes.
Would your, your cap go out too, or is that?
No. I had a battery cap. Now, these poor guys had what I showed you, that old teapot. The light wouldn't, your cap light wouldn't go out. But you could, if that went out or started to go out, you knew you had to back up back into fresh air. All right, guys, we're going to head right on up here. That noise you're hearing is that guy going out with some more people. It happened one day and this lady started screaming. Take me out of here, the roof's falling in. Okay, I'm on the troublemaker side. They're still using it, but they're doing something different. Instead of picking down, those poor guys are laying on their side. They're picking underneath, 3 feet in, all the way across. Now that's called an undercut. Now this is their actual work area, by the way. Now what do you think they're going to do different right now? You see the undercut? See that old breast auger? What are they going to do different, you think?
Use whatever explosive to make everything fall down.
Very good. They're going to blast it down. It's got to have a place to fall. After the undercut, they took the breast auger. They drilled 3 holes. They reached in their pocket. They got out their little balls of black powder with their fuses, which they purchased at the
Company store.
They shoved the black powder in the holes. The fuse wires will be hanging down. Now, back in those days, they had to go look for dirt and mud, anything they could find to shove in behind the powder to make it tight, using a wooden stick. That's called tamping it up. Why would they do that?
Directing the force of the
Yeah, so it doesn't come back out the
Very
hole.
good. If they didn't do it, the shot would blow through the hole,
Back-
and the coal wouldn't fall down. After that, there'd be a cable going around the corner with the battery. They'd wire it up and they'd scream real loud, just like they do today. Fire! Fire! Fire in the hole. That gives everybody a warning there's gonna be a blast. They blast the coal down, the old mule shoves the car up there, and the guy shovels all the coal. Process starts all over again. If the animal didn't have enough room to work, they would blast that rock down at night and get it out of the way so the animal would have enough height. They didn't care about the coal miner. They wanted to make sure the animal was comfortable. Now, I happen to be a certified shot fireman. I've blown up a lot of stuff in 43 years. But I'm not a terrorist now. But I've blown up like a roof over your heads for big equipment to go in the ground. I put off as much as 300 shots at one time. We didn't have to go look for dirt and mud. We used these little sticks of clay. They're called clay dummies. You stick them in a hole and tamp it in. The reason we call them dummies, you gotta be a dummy to go in that hole. You're going to get blown up. Now, back in those days, they might put off a shot and hit methane and blow up. They might hit water and drown. They didn't have any way to know back then. Today, they drill boreholes from the top down. They know how thick the coal is. They know where the gas wells are at. They know where the water's at. All right, guys, have a seat. We're going to drift right on down stand up if you want to, just don't bump your heads. Yeah, you can slide down a little bit, you got a little bit more height right there, you guys. This is the best I can position these cars, guys, I apologize. I asked them to let me come in here and blast all this out of here. They didn't like that idea, okay? All right, now, every time I do this, some adult will blurt out the answer. Now, we got some little ones on here. Let's give these little guys a chance first, okay? What does this look like to you guys right here? Good job, Scooter. Scooter, skateboard. When I first went underground, my boss was riding around on one of these. He had a big cigarette sticking out of his mouth. There wasn't any rules or laws. If you went in and got out good, if you didn't, they didn't really care. 1970, he was riding around on it. Now, they were obsolete in 1970, but he liked it so well, he kept using it. How does it work? You just put it on the track. If you want to go somewhere, you put your knee right there and hold on, push with your leg. Now, guys, I used to demonstrate that. But this past December, I had a total knee replacement. So I can't get down all the way like I used to, but y'all understand how it works.
Yeah.
Now, we're going to get a little bit serious, and then we're going to have some fun. Over your head is 125 feet of mountain. In other words, if I drill a hole straight up, we go up 125 feet, you'd see daylight. Those things over your heads are called roof bolts. Those roof bolts is what's keeping the rock from falling on your heads. Now, I've put up thousands of roof bolts in my life, not with this machine. This machine is really old. That's a 1930-some model, never used here. Only one man can operate that. Today's machines are 4 times as wide, and you've got a guy on both sides of the machine drilling the holes to install the roof bolts. But the idea is the same. You have to have a piece of drill steel with a sharp bit on it. It would fit right here. That's called a drill head. He'd raise it up with the hydraulics. There's another lever he'd use to let it cut. Now, this is what it looks like when you're drilling a hole to install these roof bolts. Tell me something. Where's all the rock dust going?
Straight down.
Up your nose, down your throat, in your lungs. That's why we all got black lungs. Today's machines have blower motors. When you're drilling, those motors are sucking that dust through here into the machine. All you have to do is empty out the dust boxes, but it's still a dirty, dangerous, most important job in the mine. After you drill your hole, it's time to put this up. This is what's over your heads. 4-foot glue bolt. They make them shorter, they make them longer. It's according to how bad the roof is. This is what they mostly use today. After you drill your hole, it's time to get this. Now, the other morning, first thing, I had 54 elementary kids on here. I'm okay now. And I like to ask those little guys what this is. You wouldn't believe some of the things they say. I've heard
sure.
popsicle, snakes,
Yeah.
hot dog. But most of them will say one thing. Let's see if we can get this one right here to tell me what that was. That one back there. Even the little guys. Where's that one? Well, I'll give you a hint. You might have it with your breakfast with eggs.
Sausage links.
Sausage link. That's what most of the little guys say. And I tell them, we can't support this roof with a sausage link. This is a tube of glue. After you drill your hole, you have to stick your glue up in the hole with a bolt like that. Don't let the machine push it all the way up. The bolt would fit over there. Let the machine push it up to here and let the machine spin it for about 20 seconds. Now, what do you think happens to that tube of glue? It breaks open, it gets hot, it flows down this bolt, it goes up into those cracks and connects all that loose rock together. You only have to spin it for about 20 seconds. If you spin it too long, and I've seen those young guys do it, they'll come to work, they're mad at their girlfriend before they ever get here. They're spinning away complaining. She broke up with me last night. They spin it too long, the glue gets hard and sets up. You can't push the bolt up in the hole. You got that thing hanging down. You know what we call those? Helicopters. You have to get somebody to come in and cut them out. I've hit my head on them, it'll cut you to knock your cap off. All right. You notice these all through the mine. Now, what do you think we call this? Now, don't say a dinner plate. You don't want to eat off this thing. All right, I'm going to put my light on bright here a minute. I had my light on bright a couple weeks ago. A lady stood up right there, stuck her finger in my face and said, if you don't get that light out of my eye, I want you to take me out of here and I want my money back. You would believe some of the people we get on here. I want to leave her in here. But those are plates, those little square things. See how rusty and old? See the newer ones? During COVID, they came in, they put up a lot of new roof bolts everywhere. We call this a pizza pan. Drill your hole, drop your pan down. This is what it sounds like when you're done. And it's there to stay. Now, this machine is so old, it'll only drill straight up. Y'all heard that song, to the left, to the left? Y'all thought I was too old on that. Those new machines tilt. They drill to the left. They drill to the right, and they drill straight up. That's why you see all these pizza pans and plates everywhere. The new machines will do that, see? The old machines can't do it. You have to remember something, this mine's never had roof bolts. All they ever had was timbers to keep the rock from falling on your head. That's called a brow. See where the coal fell out? That thing will roll over on you and kill you quicker than the roof will. Right before I retired, our mechanic was between the machine and the rib over there. One of those brows rolled over on him and killed him. Now I could give you a lot of horror stories over 43 years. But we don't want to go there. This is called a kettle. Another name for that is a widow maker. If that falls on you, you can have it. That weighs about 280 pounds. See how slick it is? They're in the roof everywhere. They'll fall out without warning. You can't drill a hole in them and put up a bolt, they'll fall out. You have to drill to the side and put a strap under them. I'll show you some straps on the way outside. Who can tell me what that actually is? What is that?
Looks like wood.
A tree stump.
All right, now you were the first one. Now you are naturally smart. Or you've been up to the coal museum, or neither or both. Well, okay, very good. Very good. I'm sure you're smart. The other day I had a guy out here gave me trouble. We got right here. I said, what is that? He stood up. That's a petrified tree trunk. I said, well, sir, you're pretty smart, or maybe you saw it at the coal museum. I hadn't been to any coal museum. He got angry. When we got outside, they told me he was up there 2 hours studying everything. I called him in a lie. That's a petrified tree trunk. What is coal? Coal is vegetation that's been under water and pressure for thousands of years, and it turns into coal. That's why you can find fossils. We got mushrooms growing around here. Where you're sitting at used to be vegetation, and it turned into coal. Now, I don't have a thing against you two guys right here. Y'all seem like very nice people. Over your head is one of the biggest kettle bottoms I've ever seen. Do y'all see that crack going around? It goes all the way back. Now, the tree trunk probably goes up in the mountains for who knows how long. Now, if that weighs 280 pounds, what do you think that weighs? Tons. But guys, you don't have to worry about it. It's supported pretty good. I don't believe it's going to fall down. What's this? Who said dinner bucket? Now, do you have family that works on the ground or anything? Most people would say lunch pail, lunch bucket, potty. But only coal miners, we call it a dinner bucket. Take the top off. What goes in here? Dessert tray. Coal miners eat their dessert first. We don't know if we're going to get out of here or not. What goes in here? Main course. Back in those days, they didn't have any way to heat up their food. Today's coal miners, there's a picnic table, coffee pot, and a microwave. They get 30 minutes for lunch. They come down, take a sip of coffee, read the headlines. That's enough right there to make you sick. What goes in here? Beer. Well, water. They had to bring their own water back then. They'd fill it up to here, let's pretend. Well, back in the 1800s, this is the dinner hole. Poor old guy been shoveling coal for about 5 hours. Now remember, he's not standing up like me. He's working in that coal seam right there. He crawls down here to get a drink of water. No water. Somebody stole his water. He went home and told his wife, honey, I'm so thirsty. She said, what's the matter? They stole my water. She got angry. How many times do I have to tell you? Put something in the water to keep those guys from stealing. And finally, that's what the old timers did. They put their old choppers in there. They didn't have to worry about anybody stealing their water anymore. Now, people think we do that to get a laugh. No, when I was real young, I'd go spend a weekend at my grandfather's house. My grandfather was a coal miner. He came over on a boat from Italy. My dad never went underground. He ran a grocery store and sold used furniture. I'd go up there on weekends. My grandfather gave me chores to do. I remember every Friday night at 9 o'clock, they'd all get a cup of coffee and kick back and watch Gunsmoke. Gunsmoke still comes on around here every night at 9 o'clock. I looked at his bucket for a snack. His teeth were in there. I believe he soaked them in there all night. What we got going on right here? Any mines I ever worked at has rats. We don't have rats here because we don't produce coal. If we produce coal, there would be noise and food. The rats would come. The miners would feed them. The rat is a friend to the coal miner, just like the canary. They have a keen sense of smell and hearing, and they're smart. I've seen these rats take their tail and lift the lid right off of that dinner bucket. Many times I'd be having my lunch, and I'd see a rat crawl by dragging a sandwich. One of those little baby cakes. They love those little cakes. Sometimes they'll look over at you like, that's right, what are you going to do about it? Nothing. You see a bunch of rats take off running, there's something going on. There's either smoke on the way or the roof's bad. The rats always knew. That's why the miners took care of it. We're in the drift mines. We went straight in. There's slope mines where you go underground like that. Then there's shaft mines. I've worked in a shaft mine where 30 men get on an elevator and go straight down 1,500 feet. Down there, the methane's really hot. You have to have a lot of ventilation to keep that methane swept away. This is called a supplementary roof jack. We used to use these in the old days where you couldn't put up these bolts. That thing will hold an incredible amount of weight. I've seen so much pressure coming down right before the roof falls, so much weight pushing down, these jacks will buckle over, snap, and break. Right before a major roof fall, these plates will ping out. They'll go ping, and they'll shoot out just like a shotgun before the mountain falls in. A lot of guys got killed with those plates hitting them in the side of the head. These timbers look strong. They'll break just like a toothpick. Guys, I'm telling you the truth, I've seen so much pressure coming down right before it falls, it'll cause the floor to hoof up and split open just like an earthquake from the pressure coming from up there. This is the old mine phone. Come in outside, we need help. Well, you might get an answer, you might not. All you have is a little wire going from here to the outside. If a rock or something falls, you don't have any communication. Guess what they got underground now for communication?
Cell phones.
Wi-Fi stations every so many feet. Not all the mines yet. They got this fiber optic stuff. I don't understand a thing about it. All I know is they try to text their friends outside, but it don't work. They got Wi-Fi underground. All right, guys, one more thing, I'll get y'all out of here. Where do they go to the
Companies.
bathroom?
Oh.
Back in those days, wherever. I worked in the mines, we were 20 miles underground. It took an hour and 10 minutes to get to work, one way, on modern track. Today's coal mines got these big fans blowing underground, about 170,000 cubic feet of air per minute. Once the air gets up there to where the men are working, it'll split. Some of the air will split and go way over there and down that left return all the way back outside. Some of the air will split, go down a right return, all the way back outside. You got a continuous flow of air. Intake, return air, back outside. Where would you go to the bathroom, in the intake or the return? Unless you're mad at somebody. Return. The air's hitting you in the face all the time going out. Every now and then you'll get an idiot, they'll go in the intake. Then he'll suffer for it when he gets out. Guys, I got time for maybe one quick question.
I have a question.
All right.
How do you know when a roof is bad and needs the plates put in?
Okay, well, you put the bolts up on 4-foot centers. You gotta, no, they didn't have bolts back in these days, you understand that. This work was done in the 60s. But today, when you go in after the continuous mining machine cuts out the big cut of coal, it might be 70 feet long, 20 foot wide. The bolt machine comes in. It's on 4-foot centers. Put one bolt here, go over 4 foot, over 4 foot, up 4 foot. Now, how do I know what length of bolt to put in? Right over your head, sir. Right over your head, right there. Young lady, right there. See that? At X, at hole with that X? That's called a test hole. The bolt machine, the operators come in, first thing they do is they drill a 12-foot hole to see if there's any cracks. Because you never know. Let's see if I can make you understand it like this. I'm drilling along real good, no problem. Tell me when I hit a crack or a gap. See how the steel jumped? There's a gap, there was a gap up there. And then you put up, whatever the length of the gap, you put up a bolt 1 foot longer than that. I put up 13-foot bolts before, guys.
Wow.
You're not, I have. All right. Guys, somebody mentioned we don't have tip jars. Somebody wants to give a tip, that'd be fine. As far as black lung goes, I do have black lung. People say Mike don't have black lung. He moves around too good. Well, what I do is I try to keep my lungs expanded. If I'm not doing these tours, I try to stay active the best way I can. I turned 75 last week. Most of the guys I work with are gone. A lot of them are on oxygen. One guy, we rode to work together for 12 years. He's waiting on a lung transplant. So I consider myself fortunate and blessed that I'm able to do what I'm doing. Yes, so you have a question?
Hey, how would you get like a 13-foot bolt into a hole like that? Do they have to wire the hole out so you can slide it in, or you just bend it?
Extension steel. In other words, I might drill a hole. Once I get up to here, you take it out, there's another piece of steel that'll fit in there. You keep adding it. The bolt, some of them screw out and add them together as you go. Now, if you got enough height, I've worked in 12-foot coal before. You can just put the bolt in there, bend it a little bit, and put it on in there, and then let it straighten back up. That answer your question?
Yep.
All right, guys, y'all have a seat. Thank you so much. I'm gonna take y'all all the way around the mountain by the pool and the water slide. As soon as we get outside, make sure you turn around and see where we're coming out from. Thank you very much. It's been my pleasure to be y'all's guy.
How many states are still actively, coal, mining coal?
Well, we have about 100 coal mines in West Virginia right now. And 85% of the coal is going to China. And Alabama's still got coal mines, Virginia, Pennsylvania, I'm sure. But this is bituminous coal. That's some of the best burning coal there is. That anthracite coal out west is not near as good as this is right here. But if y'all got any more questions, I'll be willing to answer them outside. Thank y'all so much, guys. over your heads, I was telling you about, we used to put under that bad roof.
Oh, okay.